In 2019, Red Bull managed to sell nearly 1 can for every person on Earth. But beyond distributing 7.5 billion cans of a sugary energy drink, the company also owns 2 Formula One racing teams, 5 pro football clubs, and even an ice hockey team. Add to that the Crashed Ice events, the Wings for Life World Run, thousands of athlete sponsorships, and their own media production house. Clearly, Red Bull does a lot more than just selling drinks. But is all of this just flashy marketing?
Back in the summer of 1982, Austrian entrepreneur Dietrich Mateschitz found himself exhausted from jet lag during a trip to Thailand. He tried a local drink called Krating Daeng, which helped him recover almost instantly.
The name roughly translates to Red Gar, with the Gar being a massive wild ox native to Southeast Asia. In other words, Red Bull. Fascinated by its effect, Mateschitz had a vision to bring the drink to Europe under a new category, the energy drink. His proposal to Western investors was often dismissed as they didn't believe such a product would appeal outside of Asia. But he wasn't discouraged. In fact, he understood there was no demand yet. So he set out to build one from scratch. He personally invested $500,000, while the owner of the original Thai drink company matched the amount to form a 50-50 partnership. Mateschitz then tweaked the formula and taste to suit European preferences and launched Red Bull in Austria in 1987. Interestingly, the drink was initially banned in Germany, which gave it an edgy, rebellious appeal. Young Germans would cross into Austria just to buy the drink that wasn't legal at home, and Red Bull sold over 1 million cans in its debut year. From Austria, the drink expanded rapidly, first to Hungary and Slovakia in 1992, then to Germany and the UK by 1994.
By the time they hit the US market in 1997, Red Bull was selling over 1 million cans every single day.
While cola giants like Coca-Cola and Pepsi had bigger budgets, they underestimated Mateschitz's strategy. Red Bull operated in a unique way, focusing on the final stages of the supply chain, such as branding and marketing, while outsourcing production and distribution. In fact, Red Bull doesn't even manufacture its own product. Third-party companies handle that. This lean model allows Red Bull to devote maximum resources to brand building, and it pays off. One of their key advantages? High pricing power. Each can costs about $0.09 to produce. Yet the suggested retail price is $3.59. Major retailers like Walmart and large supermarkets buy them at wholesale prices of around $44 to $48 for a 24-pack, roughly $1.87 per can. That's more than 20 times the production cost. In the early days, Mateschitz targeted the nightlife scene to build brand presence. Red Bull became a fixture at college parties thanks to their student brand manager program. These were outgoing college students hired to promote Red Bull on campus and host parties stocked entirely by the company. Iconic Red Bull branded Volkswagen Beetles with oversized cans mounted on the back appeared everywhere. Beaches, gyms, campuses, even office parks, handing out free samples. Bartenders quickly realized this new drink was a goldmine.
Chances are you've tried Red Bull mixed with vodka or Jägermeister. Both became hugely popular bar drinks.
Soon, Red Bull was a regular at raves, concerts, and clubs around the globe, giving the brand a unique edge in the beverage market. But this was just the beginning. By owning sports teams and sponsoring athletes, Red Bull goes deeper than traditional ads ever could. The brand becomes a lifestyle. Holding a Red Bull can connect you to the thrill of Formula One, snowboarding, or skydiving. Instead of simply telling stories, Red Bull creates them. Their marketing strategy involves producing original content through their own media division, which means they own all rights to the footage, images, and distribution across platforms like social media. This strategy leads to huge viral effects and a very high return on their marketing spend. The most powerful example of this approach was the 2012 space jump by Felix Baumgartner. Red Bull funded the project to the tune of $50 million. While that's a massive investment, experts estimate the global media exposure from the stunt was worth around $6 billion, making it an incredibly successful gamble. By pairing a bold brand identity with adrenaline-fueled sports sponsorships, Red Bull continues to dominate the energy drink space. In 2019, the company moved 7.5 billion cans and generated over $6 billion in revenue. They put nearly one-third of that revenue back into marketing. But despite the huge ad spend, Red Bull's growth has started to plateau. Since 2012, the company has relied almost entirely on one main product, the energy drink.
That narrow focus limits long-term growth and could be risky, especially as consumers become more health conscious.
The drink has been linked to issues like obesity, poor sleep, and diabetes, which may harm the brand over time. So Red Bull's investments in sports franchises and media content aren't just for show, they're strategic steps toward diversifying income. Their sports business model integrates media, branding, athlete development, and team ownership into one ecosystem. One clear example of this system working is Red Bull's football operations. Owning multiple clubs allows them to develop young talent across different countries. A player might start his career in Brazil, move to Austria to play for Red Bull Salzburg, then join RB Leipzig in Germany's Bundesliga. Later, as his career winds down, he could move to the New York Red Bulls and compete in the MLS. This kind of career pipeline illustrates how sports investments can generate value beyond branding. Red Bull bought the New York franchise in 2006 for an estimated $25 million. Today, Forbes values the team at roughly $290 million. That's a tenfold increase, and with soccer growing rapidly in the U.S., the value of such franchises will likely continue to climb. Still, the main source of income for Red Bull is, and has always been, the drink itself. Roughly 97% of their revenue comes from energy drink sales. Red Bull frames its other business efforts, sports, content, events, as long-term brand building, not immediate profit centers.
But even if they're not profitable yet, they're helping build an empire far larger than just a can of energy.